In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Sabrina Ionescu and how she is able to shoot the three-point shot, but also her basketball shooting form. This is extremely important. I've actually never broken down a ladies player here on this channel before, so let's get down. Let's check her out. If you want to be able to shoot the basketball from further away, make sure to go check out my shooting workout that is down in the description below. Okay, so from this angle right here, what do we actually see? I really do like to have behind the back angles because this is really going to show us what she is doing with her shot. Well, when we actually pause this ball or pause this frame, we can see that the shoulder and elbow are somewhat lined up with the rim, but this ball is going up the middle of her body. She also has a slight tilt away from the net. Usually, the slight tilt will allow for that shoulder and elbow to get in line with the rim. And we can see that right here. She is able to get that shoulder and elbow in line with that rim. And she's got her shoulders, hips, knees, and even feet all pointing in the exact same direction but slightly tilted off. The idea here is to allow the shoulder and elbow to get in line by being tilted away. It's very hard for players to be squared up to the rim and to tuck that elbow in. So by being slightly tilted away as she is, that is what's going to allow her to have a straight shot. We can also see right here that she's kind of got like a weird thumb flick-ish thing going on. And we can really see it in this first shot right here. She's actually kind of shooting from her chest and then releasing nice and high with the left palm facing the rim. This is something that is an adaptation to a lot of players when they shoot from their chest. Usually it's younger players who shoot from their chest because they want to have more power to get that ball to the rim. And because when that ball is down on their chest, as we can see right here, the shoulder and elbow are not really pointed towards the rim. They're kind of pointed out away from the rim. So now you need to have a counter force to be able to get that elbow either in or to get that ball up so that it can be over the elbow. So now it's in front of her face. The elbow is still pointed out away from the rim. And then when she starts going up into her shot at this point, that is where that thumb flick is happening. She's trying to push that ball up so that now it's over top of that elbow, which creates that shooting triangle, and this shooting form works for her. And this is not going to work for everybody. This is not a form that I would break down and say, you really need to go copy this form, because it has a strong thumb flick, but the thumb flick doesn't affect the shot because it's not on the ball when being released. Her hand is nice and wide, right underneath the right side of that ball. And then when she releases the ball, she's got a nice soft release with her elbow above the forehead. This is going to give that ball the arc that's needed, and that soft release is going to give it a little bit more arc. And we can see that she does hit quite a few shots with this shooting form. She also drops her arm quite quickly. This is something that a lot of players will do to be able to get shots off faster. And as long as you're keeping that follow through, see how she's keeping it for just that millisecond and then she drops her arm? That is why it's still a very, very good shot that is able to hit over and over and over again. If we actually look at her feet are just wider than shoulder width. Her knees do come together just a bit, and she doesn't exactly bend her knees all that much. When she gets to this pad right here, we can see that she doesn't exactly use a ton of her lower back. She's not using a lot of her legs either. But this is a one motion shot that will allow her to have more power anyways, and she does slightly jump forward with that right foot. So together with this shooting form, it is a very good form. It works for her, but this is not a shooting form that I would tell players to copy. Now, when we look at the ball when it's coming down onto the rim, it's coming down from quite a high angle. Now, this may be skewed due to the angle of the actual camera. However, at 58%, degrees, my bad. At 58 degrees, you really want it to come down at around 45 degrees. The reason being is if it's dropping too hard and it hits the rim, it's going to bounce out. If it comes in too shallow, the rim's going to look too small and it's going to hit the rim and bounce out. You want it to be somewhere in that 40 to 45 degree range, which will allow it to hit that rim softly and then potentially bounce in. And we can see that when she does hit rim at times, that ball tends to hit that rim really hard, like we see right there. But we can see that with her hand on the side, if we can pause this just right in time, right there, it's really high up and it's really pushing that ball up towards that right side. This is a shooting form that you do not teach. This is a shooting form that you adapt to and you try to make it as good as you can. This works for her. Sabrina is one of the best women's shooters ever. She's going to be competing in a three-point contest someday against Steph Curry. Now, who's going to win? Well, Steph Curry has a shooting form that to shooting coaches is not that great either. Because I hear it all the time from different shooting coaches online who say, you shouldn't be teaching the Steph Curry form because it's terrible. Well, guess what? Everyone has a different shooting form. The main basics is the shoulder and elbow pointed towards the rim, with the ball, at least part of it, over top of this upper arm, or elbow or shoulder, which allows for a straight release. As long as you have this in line and a straight release, it's always going to be straight. It doesn't matter how far you're tilted off. It doesn't matter if you have a thumb flick that releases before the ball is released. As long as this is all in line, it's going to be all straight all the time. Then it just comes down to your power, your release, how high it is, and that's what it basically comes down to. I hope that this video has helped you. Make sure to go check out my shooting workout that is down in the description below, and I'll see you guys again next time in my next video.